On average, how much do you spend when you get your hair done? I usually spend $105. My stylist is expensive considering I just get a pretty simple haircut and I don't have a lot of hair. It's $80 and I give a $25 tip. I love my stylist and only get my hair cut maybe 2 to 3 times a year, so I don't mind the price. I've been going to him for 15 or so years. He did my hair for my wedding as a gift. He didn't have to do that. I expected to pay, and it took forever, and I will always appreciate that, especially since my veil was a monster and it was quite a task to attach it to my head. After one too many disappointing trips to get a haircut, I stopped paying in my early 20s and for a while got free ones at Bumble, and Bumble is someone their students could practice on. And then after I stopped being in a position to lose more or less a whole day to that, transit plus 3 hours lesson equaled up to about 7 hours, taught myself to cut my own hair. Now I do it for my niece and sometimes sister too. I'm not stellar at it, but it never looks bad either. And it means never having to hear a hairstylist balk at the idea of cutting my long hair short as if it won't be right back down to my waist soon enough. About EU 70 for a dry curly haircut. If I get it dyed in Dublin it's at least EU 100-120. However, if I get it dyed in my hometown it's more like EU 50 to get it dyed. I'm probably get it cut twice a year but spend quite a bit on products such as shampoo, condition, serum etc. for curly hair. I got it dyed a few times a year. The last time I spent $6, PS5 for a cheap set of scissors and got my mom and my other half to cut it and then send it up to a children's charity to turn it into a wig for a kid. They had fun and it didn't look too bad. I'll be doing the same next time, but we'll need new scissors as they've become dog grooming scissors. Usually spend around $5, PS4 for semi-permanent hair dye and let it wash out completely before getting the at-home haircut. I don't really cut my hair, because I'm trying to grow it out, but I have fashion colors that I do myself. I buy bleach and developer in bulk and I don't remember what that costs, and then the dye is about $18 each and I can do my roots with 1 pot, or my whole head with 2 and a bit. I do my roots once they hit about 1 inch long. What is your response when someone says that men need to stop caring about a girl's weight? As a grown man, I have discovered that if I don't want to, I don't have to justify my answers. I don't even have to answer. This took me way too long to realize. But this one I'd reply to. It'd say something along the lines of "I'm not men, I'm one man. And I don't care about a woman's weight when it comes to attractiveness. I care about her health and how healthy she looks. If she's got a healthy looking fat with matching strong thighs, that's. If she is 30 and can't walk 1 mile without needing an ambulance, that's not. And quat. You're not being sexist or objectifying by saying that. You wouldn't be ageist to not find an elderly woman sexually attractive, or ableist if she's curled up with some kind of palsy. It's not even racist not to be attracted to someone of a different ethnicity, or transphobic to not be attracted to someone of your same gender or assigned. You can't just choose who you're attracted to. You can develop affection for someone over time, of course, but if we're talking about qualities in a woman that initially motivate you sexually, there's absolutely nothing wrong with defining what those are, pursuing women who have them, and not pursuing women who don't. I've actually been on the receiving end of this. A good friend of mine got feels for me, but I really wasn't attracted to her. She was extremely overweight and while I'm not super picky even I have a limit. She kept pushing the issue, and thought berating me for not being attracted to her was somehow going to make me attracted to her. Ultimately had to end our friendship because she started getting handsy and it made me extremely uncomfortable around her. Honestly, there's not a good answer here. Best advice I could give is remind them there are plenty of men out there who love thick women and to find one of them. There's a difference between being nitpicky, 50 kilograms versus 60 kilograms, and actually not wanting to date someone who is immensely obese. It doesn't have to have anything related to looks to do, but being overweight is a health risk. Most people do not want to date someone with known health risks, and possible mental health issues. And there is nothing wrong with prioritizing to find someone who has less issues and quat. Also, preferences are totally okay, and no one should be judged for them. As long as they are reasonable, of course. I'm a private person, not a public space or a business. Anti-discrimination laws don't apply. I don't have a requirement to grant equal opportunity access to all. Even if they did, being fat is not a protected class. It's really simple. People who try to shame you into having with them, who try to insinuate that you're a bad person if you don't find them attractive, are themselves bad people. They are manipulative predators hoping you don't enough of a spine to resist their shaming tactics. Women who chose to have a child-free life, how is everyday life for you? It's absolutely fantastic. I still have hard times and the regular problems we all struggle with, but none are made harder by having a child. My financial struggles aren't made worse by needing to provide for a kid. I don't have to order my work hours around school and childcare. If I want to travel with my husband, the only special accommodations we need to make are for our pets. I also don't need to worry about messing up and traumatizing a small human. My childhood was not the best and I know for a fact I'd make a parent. I'm ODHD and the sound and unpredictability of kids really bothers me. Being child-free is one of the best choices I ever made for myself. 35, married at 32, no kids, no plan for kids. We sleep great, no worries when we go to sleep, no priorities when we wake up. We live life on our terms. There are children in our family, extended, we enjoy them and enjoy giving them back. I'm Indian, Gujarati. I think of all the women in my ancestry who didn't have a choice but to marry and make children. I'm the first one with a real choice and I take my luxury and privilege seriously. Being child-free is a lifestyle choice that goes against everything capitalism advertises to people to keep them on the hamster wheel. Child-free people aren't meant to fit into the nuclear family structure. We find our own place, our own unique joy. I heard my whole life about someday your clock will start ticking and you'll decide you want kids. Lived in terror of that happening all through my 30s. Never did. Late 40s now and love my life. My schedule is whatever I want it to be. I can go away camping or on vacation anytime, especially midweek when everyone else is home for school. I never have to get up at the crack of dawn and haul tiny humans to school. I love kids. I love my nibblings more than I can say. But I love my peace and quiet and mental health way more than I would love having kids of my own. I seriously cannot fathom how people handle it. I mean, I know it's like everything else in life and you just figure it out the best you can because you have to, but holy. Being responsible for just myself feels so challenging some days. I cannot imagine having the weight of that dependency on me. So everyday life feels just as busy as people with kids. I just have a lot more choice and flexibility around what I fill my time with. I think part of what makes me a good friend / daughter / auntie / sibling is that not having to devote huge chunks of myself to a specific and limited group of people, children, means I have more to offer when they could use some support. They feel like they can't understand something unless they know every detail? Well, this is weird. I've also always been this way, and I'm also a software engineer. I can relate. I'm slower to learn something, but it's because I want to know every specific step so that when I do know it I can be incredibly thorough. So me, and my curiosity makes me experiment with things over and over till I find the best methods. I'm like that too, and even when watching TV, I feel the need to have subtitles on so I can read them at the same time as listening because somehow that makes it easier to understand. I think it might be perfectionism, and the others have a good enough approach. We get bogged down in details. At university my lecturer said I can't see the woods for the trees when I gave him the first draft of my dissertation. Wasn't being horrible to me, but trying to help me see the big picture. I'm like this too, otherwise it's a constant what if scenario playing in my mind. I have to know the answers to all the what ifs before I feel like I truly know something. Ditto. This is exactly like me. I often work with window cleaner machines and assist in fixing any issues. However, I don't actually understand what I'm doing and how all the parts function together. It's incredibly frustrating to me and I feel I only know things at surface level. I tend to automatically comprehend things at minimal detail. My brain fills in the blanks and I explore possibilities constantly in my head. Yes, I am like this also. I've been told I'm very thorough, but really it's compulsory. Top-down learning instead of the traditional bottom-up. Exactly. I'm currently stumbling my way through an EMT course, and when it comes to the practical / physical stuff, I need to know exactly how they want me to do each step and precisely how they want me to verbalize each and every little thing. Once I know their criteria I nail it, but before then it's a dumpster fire. Hashtag count me in. That's why I hated physics in high school. Day sleep on a mattress on the floor? I did it for years. We actually loved it. My cat loved it too. Time was extra fun, because you can't really fall off the bed. The only reason I didn't like it was because the bed is usually the only place in my room to sit. It gets kind of old sitting so low to put shoes on, or get your yoga pants on / off, or fold laundry, if you're like me and love to dump clean laundry on the bed to fold. Otherwise, it was great. I'm considering going back to that. Don't do the mattress floor thing, but get some doggy beds and pile up on area she would jump, then reach her to jump down there. She'll be scared at first, BC it'll look diff, so you'll have to show her. You can get the large sale ones from PetSmart for $10. There's always a bunch on sale. Use though and get a lot. Double stack them along one side. I had same issue with my old girl. Had to teach her. She seemed to appreciate it after a while. Best.